Viewers, as we speak right now, there are some very crucial conversation points or remarks that's been raised by the Survivors Council. This is not the CBI's council, remember, but the Unnao Rape Case Survivors Council, that is Mahmood Pracha. He has said that it would be a disservice to call this a win at any point. This is a brief respite, a relief for all those who are fighting this very case, and that they will be moving another application. They were expecting a suo motu cognizance of this very proceedings would be revived in the Supreme Court, but that did not happen. More importantly, they've also said that the CBI's counsel did not allow the particular Survivors Council to take part in the very proceedings, as in they were not allowed to speak in the very court while the hearing took place today. These are questions being raised by the Survivors Council today. Important to notice that yes, time and again it's been brought out that the Sengar side at this given point is much larger and with much more influence than the Survivors side at this point. The Sengar to the CJI, Sengar's lawyers to the CJI now have also come out to say, and let me quickly bring to your notice this very breaking news as well as we speak, that CJI, that the lawyers have said that the photos of the High Court judges who had given that verdict on the Sengar case, on the Unnao rape case, those are being circulated on social media, and the CJI on this has said that it's very unfortunate that this is happening. In fact, Sengar's lawyers to the Supreme Court had come out to say that there's a media trial underway against me, to which the CJI, the Chief Justice of India, has commented that it's unfortunate. We are not in ivory towers. People trying to take political advantage, and that these arguments should be brought up in court and not out on the streets. That is the very comment that's coming in now at this point. This is on the sidelines of the main case that we were taking a look at, the hearing which we just heard in the Supreme Court. Anisha, quick word from you on this very matter that's coming to light now, where Sengar's lawyers have to speak about the media trial that's happened. That's what they've claimed, that their photographs are being circulated out in open.
Well, Shreya, let me just clarify. These arguments were made by Sengar's lawyers when the court was issuing notice to him, when the court was saying that we will hear this matter after 4 weeks. The victims' counsel, Mahmood Pracha, who we just heard speaking to the media just a moment ago, had pointed out that they should be allowed to argue before the court before any decision is taken in the Sengar case. Sengar's lawyers, on the other hand, Senior Advocate Hariharan and Siddharth Dave, argued that there is a media trial going on, that photos of the High Court judges who had given the suspension of sentence order are being circulated, and there are videos circulating claiming that the judiciary bent under Sengar's power. To that, the court has said, do not try to browbeat the system. We are not sitting in ivory towers. This kind of comments should not be made outside the court. They've said that this is not something that should have been done. They have said, in fact, they said, we know people are trying to take political advantage and irresponsible people are making irresponsible statements outside. However, the court also saying that Sengar was convicted by the judiciary only. We are there, the doors of justice are open, and if the victim wants to file an appeal, they can do so. And this is the quote directly from the Chief Justice, that our doors are open 24/7. You can take recourse of the law, but do not make irresponsible remarks. That was the comment made by the Chief Justice immediately before closing the hearing of this case. Shreya, let me clarify for our viewers. This hearing has closed on this note because Sengar's lawyers have been crying media trial. They said that instead of the legal argument, there is a lot of irresponsible statements being made in the media. The court, of course, saying, please make legal arguments in the court. Do not say things outside. Even as the victim's lawyer, Mahmood Pracha, also said that Sengar's lawyers and Sengar's family are also making a hue and cry, raising incorrect arguments. Back to you.
Right, Anisha, I'll just cut across to Nalini at this given point. Nalini, while this is one aspect of the very hearing that took place today, I'll quickly just cut across to just take our focus back to what has been said by Mahmood Pracha while he was speaking to the reporters right outside the court after the hearing. One important point that he has made is with regards to the fact that today, when the hearing was taking place, the Survivors Council, that is Mahmood Pracha himself, they were not allowed to speak. And in POCSO, under POCSO, that the survivor's side is always to be heard. The CBI, however, ensured that it was only their counsel that spoke in the court, but not the survivors' counsel. That is one particular matter that's been flagged by the survivors' counsel, and the fact that they will have to again reapply for certain aspects, for in fact taking up certain aspects of this case, and that they had greater points than the CBI's counsel to make the stay happen, which they wanted included in the very order, but that was not even looked upon by either the CBI, and of course Sengar's side has a complete different story on this entire issue.
Well, Shreya, just to clarify and make sure that our viewers understand this properly, the reason why the survivor's family and her lawyers were not allowed to make any arguments before the Supreme Court is because the survivor's family has not yet filed its SLP challenging the Delhi High Court verdict. For that very reason, the CJI very clearly told them that you have to file an SLP for us to give you a chance to argue before us so that you can be considered to be a party in the case. They've also said that in case you require any legal aid, in case you requires any legal aid lawyers to assist you in filing this SLP, we're happy to provide that as well. But considering that they were not a party to this present case, the hearing of which was happening before the CJI's bench, is why only the CBI as well as Kuldeep Singh Sengar's lawyers were heard in the matter, and the survivors' lawyers were not given a chance. Of course, before the next date of hearing, if the survivors' lawyers go ahead and file this SLP before the Supreme Court, there is no doubt about the fact that they will be given a chance to place not only their arguments but also their concerns before the three-judge bench. Because if there is one thing that the Supreme Court does, is ensure it gives everyone an equal opportunity of at least being heard before taking a decision. But that cannot be done without due process. That cannot be done without following the prescribed procedure that is given in the Supreme Court rules. So they will have to file an SLP, they will have to officially approach the Supreme Court to be able to make their arguments first. That is the reason why they were not given this opportunity. Along with that, the Supreme Court through the CJI has also made a very important statement where they've advised the lawyers for Kuldeep Singh Sengar to argue inside the court and not outside, which means that the same lawyers who were making a case of media trial, who were crying hue and cry about a media trial going on against them related to this case, the CJI has made it very clear to them that our advice to you is to not worry about the noise that's going on outside, not bring this issue to the streets. This is not something that people should be allowed to take political advantage of. It's an issue of law. We are looking into the matter, and all of your arguments should be made before us and not before the media or not before political parties or not out in the streets. That's something very clearly that has been stated by the CJI in this entire case. We are expecting for the matter to be heard after 4 weeks now. Once an official reply on record comes in from Kuldeep Singh Sengar, by then we can also expect for the survivors' family to have filed an SLP before the Supreme Court, which means that on the next date of hearing, when the merits of the case will be heard as to whether or not the Delhi High Court was good on merits, should it be overturned, should it not be overturned, all the three parties, the CBI, Kuldeep Singh Sengar as well as the survivors' family, is likely to be given a due chance to argue before the three-judge bench before it is ultimately decided what needs to happen in this case. Shreya.
Right, Nalini, we have Srishti Ojha as well at this given point, and Anisha Mathur also, who's been continuing to be with us. Srishti will shortly take a response from her after this. But Anisha, I want to come to you next with regards to one matter which we've been discussing since morning. That is the safety and security of the Unnao rape victim. When we speak of this very order that's come in, remember when the HC verdict had come in, there were mentions of certain security guidelines that have to be followed, a certain amount of distance that Sengar or any of his associates would have to keep from the victim throughout. That was also mentioned in that very order. With this stay coming in from the Supreme Court now, how are we looking at that very aspect? Because Mahmood Pracha himself was also mentioning about how the demand for security and increased security for Unnao rape victim also continues to be there. Your short response on this.
The order, when the written order comes out, for now they've issued a stay on the operation of the Delhi High Court order. Now if you look at this 53-page judgment that was given by the High Court, while suspending the sentence, they had said he is not allowed to come within 5-kilometer radius of the place of residence of the survivor. He is directed to stay in Delhi during the pendency of the appeal. He is directed to not contact or threaten the victim or the mother of the victim, and to deposit his passport with the trial court, and also to report to the local police station once a week. Now, all of these aspects will have to be considered. Remember, as we've been discussing, since May, the CRPF security to the victim is continuing, even though the security to the rest of the family has been removed. So now we'll have to see what specifically is there in the order which comes in, and whether the MHA is going to also look into the aspect of threat perception of the victim. Back to you.
Nalini, Srishti, we will continue our conversation, but right now, viewers, we've completely run out of time here. We'll quickly slip into a break, but the focus continues to be on this very Supreme Court verdict, which stays the High Court verdict into the Unnao rape case. That is the top focus of this very hour that we are continuing into the next hour.